That was so funny. Peace, 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 peace. How's everyone? Um, Good to be here. I'm happy to be here anyway. So yeah, apologies for starting late. I literally thought I was streaming and I wasn't. So, as usual, tech difficulties. Everyone tech difficulties. An oversight on my part. But yeah, I was running late either way anyway, so I just added to the tardiness for the day. Um, we'll start in about 5 minutes as usual. I normally wait for people to filter into the chat. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Um, yeah, today's gonna be quite interesting. So today's the first time that they basically we're just gonna be freestyling. So I'm just gonna go for the energy of the chat, and this video might not go live. Basically, we'll see. See how I feel. I'll see. I like to be quite organized and been really, really, really busy setting up everything. And I'm doing if anyone's watched my last two, three videos. I'm on an absolute mad one at the moment, quite honestly. But yeah, uh, exciting times, exciting times, and the realness of the realness of life is actually happening. Like it's gone from fun and games, when you get an idea and it's hello, hello, hello. My mic's far away as well. Yeah. Cool. Hello, is anyone live? Can anyone hear me? Anyone in the building? Yeah, just doing a sound check, obviously a video check. Feel like the video's good. Audio, we never know until someone gives me a call back. Don't be shy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so as I said, yeah, we'll start in a few minutes. I don't have much prepared, but I got a lot on my mind, so I'll go anywhere. I'll go anywhere with it. We'll basically see. So yeah, someone gave me some love. Who is that? Who is that? Like literally, there's one person in the chat right now. So, yeah, don't be a stranger. That's like rude. Like literally, that's just like one person in it. And yeah, how's your day been? How's your week been? How are you? How are you? Yeah, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. It's one of my new devices. Just through Vortex. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Let's see one. Yeah, it looks quite mad still. Yeah, that looks mad. That worked. That worked. That worked. Yeah. So we're setting up. So basically, all right, cool. I'll just talk. I'll start talking. So yeah, basically, as we said, we started off with the whole idea of life coaching, which obviously we then started with the app, which was the divination. And the bigger picture was always to go into a holistic way of being and a holistic way of teaching and living. And so the thing that made the most sense is to open up some form of wellness center. Could have been in many different formats, but that's what we're doing. So we're in the middle, literally probably in the middle of opening up our wellness center, and we're starting to make connections and moves. I'll probably say we're over halfway. Like literally, we could be operational within about a week or so. but there is just one hero device that is what it is. It's just going to take 6 weeks to get here because it's coming from America, and we've just had it confirmed that we'll be the first in the UK to get this device that will have an upgraded version. It would basically be an upgraded version of a device that just recently released, but due to popular demand of people like myself asking, could they just do one or two things to make it better? Because they're kind of like custom made. This like a small production, like custom made kind of stuff. And so there was just a few of us that saw a way in which it could be improved based on another technology and integrate. Could they integrate this other technology into it? And that's been given a go ahead, basically. So it's taken a product from I don't know. I gotta get this stuff first, but it's taking it from a potentially 10 out of 10 to, I don't know, something more. And then obviously last week I launched the if anyone doesn't know, the biocoherence. Where is it? It's upstairs. Yeah. Anyway, last week I launched the biocoherence app, or announced a distribution deal. This is the book, by the way, that you want to get. So this is the guy, basically, Mederick the guy. This is the guy that has created biocoherence, and this is the book. So I'll show you contents page, and we're now announcing as well that another bonus that I'll do is that anyone that buys the app or anyone that buys a device will also get a book as well, as for free. Like this book, if you go and buy it right now, it costs £15 on Amazon. That's how much I paid for mine. I didn't get mine for free. I've actually got two of them. You know, I've actually got two of them. I paid for both of those. So yeah, we'll be giving the book away for free. Just yeah. You don't need it, but it's so helpful. Like, because then you see the depths of like why I'm so excited, basically. You'll see the depths of why I'm so excited. Because it's not I keep on saying that I'm underselling it, which it's like people are not believing me. I think so. Basically, I changed my tactics because I realized that just the device it needs to be experienced. And I said this, I mean, this was literally in my marketing literature because I knew it's kind of what I'm probably going to rant about today. Well, I won't say rant, but like I'm freestyling today, and definitely something's on my mind, which is that we need to see things to believe it. the natural instinct of humanity is that they need to see something to believe it, and skepticism is healthy, and skepticism is incredible. But skepticism as a blanket rule lacks the skills of discernment. It basically means it's basically a shortcut, and you're doing a disservice to test your discernment by being blanket statement, skeptical about everything, essentially. I enjoy a challenge, and I basically knew that this product, like, people won't believe this product until they see it. They're not really going to believe how incredible it is. And so I don't mind. I just move with the people. I literally just drove around everyone's house last few days. I've just been driving. Look, boom, 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 boom. They see it, and then they buy it, basically. But there's quite a lot of people on the video and I would have liked more people to have bought it just from the video itself. But again, I knew that weren't going to happen because, well, I don't say I knew it wasn't going to happen. You don't know everything. But my intuition is that it would sound too good to be true. That was my intuition with it. And then my someone that's bought it, that experienced it firsthand, like they were the first person to experience it, the first person I shared it with, and their mind was blown. And then they go tell their friends, and their friends was like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. It sounds great. And then they, that that instinct that was something else kicks in, and it's like, oh no, it must be a scam. So she's like, oh yeah, no, he said it's like a scam. It must be a scam, or it sounds like a scam, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And this person doesn't know me, by the way, so I don't mind it, but it just reminds me of, you can't shortcut. You can't shortcut. There's nothing to shortcut. Like, I always told the story of like people meeting God, or people praying for God. And then the guy's like, oh, I'm gonna go and jump in the middle of the ocean. I think I've explained this before, but again, who don't know, I've only explained it. I think I've only said this story once anyway, online. But it's like, oh yeah, I want to just know whether God exists or not. And I've been praying to God but I've not seen him yet. So I'm going to basically risk my life, and basically I want a miracle. God needs to prove to me that he exists. And so he goes in the middle of the ocean, and then he basically starts drowning, and the guy in the tugboat says like, bro, what are you doing? Like, do you want a lift? I can get you out. He's like, no, I'm waiting for God. Bigger boat comes along, 20 minutes later. Do you want a lift? Like, we can help you. You try to throw him a dinghy. No, I'm waiting for a miracle. Guy dies, obviously. It happens like I'm giving you the shortest version, but like the longer version is, it happens, he gets four people see him or something like that. And then he's like, and then he sees God, and God's like, and then he's like, oh, where was you? And he's like, I was there. I came 4 times. You didn't see me. And so that's one of my story. I really enjoyed that story because the mysterious ways in which spirit moves is often too subtle for most people to notice. And it's why I teach things like synchronicity, symbols, just divination in general, just anything, and energy work, anything that allows you to tap into your spirit are the things that I, bang on about. And that discernment, that ability to see the truth in a world where we're post-truth, in a world where it's fake news. I understand it. You know what I mean? Like I completely get it. But in a world where we're in information overload, like literally my first ever lines I wrote in my book when I first put pen to paper in my vision, it was, what is the problem? The problem is information overload. We're in the age of Aquarius. The problem is information overload. We have too much information. The internet has everything, fake, true, whatever. And so discernment is becoming even more harder, to the point where being skeptical is just a safety. It's a safety mechanism. It's a natural safety mechanism to protect yourself from charlatans, scammers, so on and so forth. But there's a balance to it at the very least, in terms of being able to open yourself up to miracles, being able to open yourself up to divine timing, being able to open yourself up to things beyond space and time. Like I can't remember what I said today in the video. Do what you love till it kills you. 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 And I think in the thumbnail something about being hard. Like, why is it so hard? And essentially, we're talking about finite games versus infinite games. And the fact that most people are comfortable with the struggle. Most people are comfortable with the struggle. They become comfortable with the pain. They have a whole lifestyle that's built around their pain and their struggle. And for them to break free, it would cause too much sacrifice of an old self that, regardless of the pain and the hurt, has become comfortable, like an old friend that is doing you harm, but you keep them around anyway. And is something that everyone has to deal with, like, you know, myself included. It's just, you know, things that sabotage, that hold us back from tapping into our true potential. I wouldn't even say true potential, just things that hold us back from moving forward even. And so again, like, just this week's been just real crazy. Like, it's just been real incredible. It's just been an incredible week. I might share some stories, but it's been an incredible week in terms of me stepping more into my divinity, and how the universe, how the ancestors, how the spirit guides are taking notice and opening themselves up. Like, I can feel it. Like, it's obvious. It's subtle, but it's not that subtle. Just basically, it's actually not even that subtle. Like, some of the synchronicities that's happened over the past week or two are beyond, in terms of consistency of days. Like, literally every single day, the synchronicities are off the charts. And obviously, again, if you've never been on my channel, that's how I ask to communicate with the divine. I ask for the divine, for the most high, for my highest self, for whoever that wants to, excuse me, I ask for whoever wants to contact me, that you just need to give me a sign, and I'll see it. So that's why, that's one of the that's one of the reasons why I've, you know, mastered the game on decoding and synchronicity, because that's the language in which I choose to communicate. You know, there's many languages in which you can communicate with the divine. My one is symbols, words and numbers, synchronicities, essentially. And so, even for the first time, you know, I met a demon, basically, like a it's just a mind bending week. Just like, I laughed in a demon's face this week. Just absolutely laughed. But I got my window smashed, got my car smashed, and I got paid £200 to go fix it. But like, literally just laughed in a demon's face. Kind of laughed too much, to be honest. I should have moved £200 down. But like, yeah, random, just literally, it's a madman just running in front of me in my car and stuff like that. It was an incredible moment after having one of the most incredible meetings. That's gonna move things, you know, move the needle. I can't obviously. You have to move. Sometimes you have to speak in code. It's not like because you're not trying to reveal certain things. It's just because you understand the sacredness of the moment. The sacredness is etymologically linked to secrets. So it's not necessarily that I'm trying to be arcane and mystical. It's just when you reveal things before their time, especially in a public forum. I mean, literally, this is just YouTube. Anyone can watch this. So it's you're just putting it out there, basically. I mean, this is obvious. So yeah, but it's just been crazy. It's just been crazy. It's just been a crazy, crazy, crazy time. Um, speak into the mic more, please. Yeah, it's probably just me. I'm on a different vibe today. Like if I if I reflect back to 99% of my videos, I'm at like 100% energy. Like I'm at 100% energy, but right now I'm more on a chill vibe. Like it's on a real chill vibe. Um. Oh yeah. Anyone questions as well? Sorry. In the chat, I did say Q&A. Like literally any questions. If anyone wants to see anything, let me check if my what's it called working as well. Actually, like anyone wants a question around numerology, numbers, words, anything, divination. Anyone wants a mini reading, I'm up for it. Like there's only a few people in the chat today, so I've only said I'm going live literally last minute. Even though I go live every week, obviously I announce it. I normally like send it out to people and people in my WhatsApp group and stuff like that. I do have a WhatsApp group as well. That that's my community at the moment. Is this WhatsApp group? It's got like 70 people in it. So this and YouTube are my main two places, but WhatsApp obviously is where we're kind of messaging throughout the week and stuff, announcements or just now normal shares of the kind of things that you would see in like this kind of group. So if anyone wants to be added to that, then let me know. You can email me. Check out one of my other videos that's more prepared with a description, and you'll see there's some links. You'll see the links in those descriptions to my link tree. You can just reach out to me. You can ask, and also just book yourself some time to speak to me if you want to as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm more on a. I'm feeling real chill. I'm feeling real. Like I got the world at my feet right now. Quite honestly, I got the world at my feet right now, and it's just more about like what moves do I want to make, what buttons do I want to push, because yeah, being in flow states is incredible. To be in a flow state, like to be in a flow state for a long period of time, it's just an incredible feeling. It's like literally, it's like the universe opens up for you, kind of thing. Like you can do no wrong, and you see it all. And again, this is not to say that everything in my life is perfect. It's what I enjoy the most is resilience and anti-fragility. Again, you can go check out the video how to transform chaos into a superpower. It's one of my favorite videos because I speak about how to work with the ups and downs of life from an alchemical or an alchemist perspective, and the importance of chaos and the unknown basically to transform. So every day's been like an unknown day, and the ability of you to ride your ability in terms of how you can ride the wave will determine how long you can stay in flow for, and thus build momentum and so these are the things that I teach. But I always say I always have to be the best student of anything I teach, especially if it's a core piece of something that I'm bringing to the public. And so I've got a new task actually. If I talk about a new area, and I've got a new area to move on, which is to master the body more. So let's just say in my life, I've been more about the mental. That was my natural gate. So let's talk about the three gates or the Gurdjieff's fourth way. So Gurdjieff is like an alchemist from back in the day, like a mystic. And 1900, famous, like it's a famous book. If anyone's into that stuff, but it's called the book's called The Fourth Way. And in that they just speak about the three ways, and then he creates a fourth way. He pioneers a fourth way, which is a center way, which is what everyone does. It's like the middle path basically in Buddhism. And you've got the path of the cerebral, the mind, the path of the heart, and then the path of the and then the path of the gut or the solar plexus. And depending on which gateway, on which path you master, will determine what type of enlightened being that you could become if you mastered it, basically. And I've definitely spent more of my time focused in the mental, focused in the mind. Like literally, I live in the head. I live in the clouds. Is an often true accusation of anyone that's observed me for long enough. I live in the clouds, like literally. And then let's just say I probably understood the importance of the heart maybe about 5 years ago. Really, maybe four or 5 years ago. Really wanted to readdress that heart space. And over the last year, I know that the next step is to master the body. I know it mentally. I know how to master the body. That's never been a problem. Like, again, I'm in my head, so I know many things. But it's the actualization, the embodiment of these things, and just living what I'm thinking. This is soul alignment, essentially. But then also stepping into my God body more and more so. And with me starting up this wellness center, as I said to my business partner, like I've just quadrupled my workload because I can't really rest, because it now means that I have to master wellness, because I'm literally saying I'm opening up a wellness center. And that's like, it's exciting, but it's a lot of work, because when I say something, you know, it's got to be done to my level based on my signature. And obviously we're going with vibration. So the wellness center is called, you know, Ma'at Vibrology, which is a word that I've just made up, which means the study of vibration. And so I now need to basically be the master of vibration, which, you know, it's not a new thing for me. But I know what the optimal level of that looks like. Or I know what the optimal level of those kind of levels could be. And it would require sacrifice. It requires sacrifice. It requires sacrifice. Because one of the things that you're looking to do is just build the integrity. You're looking to build the integrity of your vibration. And so I would have to basically practice what I preach with a document that I've built maybe 2 years ago now, maybe 18 months ago. Spiritual Hygiene 101. Let me show you like it. Let me just show you some stuff. As I said, this is going to be a free stuff, so I'm just going to go wherever. But let me just show you this document, Spiritual Hygiene. So yeah, this is one of my first documents. And again, this was just a personal document I just built for myself. And I lived most of it, in fairness, for a couple of, I probably did about 80% of things, 80% of the time. But let me get it up now, Spiritual Hygiene. And I think I think as well, when I was speaking last week, someone was speaking about this as well. So I don't know if they're on the chat or something, but I was speaking about spiritual hygiene last week. So spiritual hygiene. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, so basically this is Spiritual Hygiene 101. Let's make sure I've got the chat still up. All right, cool. Yeah. So this is one of my documents that, like I said, for a whole year basically, I would read this document every day, kind of thing, until it was embedded. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my affirmations. This is one of my key affirmations. I've never really shared this out loud, but I'll share it now. So I am perfect in soul. I am a light, truthful heart, most high spirit led. I am a wise mind. I act with clean hands. I am grateful to share and help others live the most righteous ways. So, yeah, I am perfect in soul. I am a light, truthful heart. I am a wise mind. I act with clean hands. I am grateful to share and help others live the most righteous ways. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Is that the way around I've got it? I normally say, I don't say it normally that, yeah. I don't say it that right round anymore. I say, I am sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. That's what I actually say it. I have a whole body movement that goes with that as well that I made up that I really enjoy to do as well. And then just, yeah, what would unconditional compassionate love do? So these were like the most, let's just say that these were the key focuses that I had about 2 years ago. And they still resonate now, to be honest. Like, this definitely got embodied. It definitely got embodied where it is now, ingrained and imprinted on my brain as a liberty. So, yeah, I've not read that for a while, actually. I've not opened up this document for a while still. It's just good to, in hindsight, come back to a document that you was fond of and kind of like changed your being, to a degree. And so what is spiritual hygiene? Spiritual hygiene is things that give life. So is the energy and the vibration that you're bringing creating life, or is it creating death? And so once you understand, decomposition, radiation, energy loss, like, we can get technical with it if I wanted to, but keep it simple. But essentially, once you understand those kind of modalities on a deep level, you basically just understand that everything in the universe is either a coherent wave or a decoherent wave. It's either running interference or it's running coherence. And what you basically want to do is you want to become what we're going to call an infinite wave, a shareable wave, a shareable open wave. This is like the key. And so for me, this spiritual hygiene document is how I allow my being, mind, body, spirit, holistic being, to embody life through understanding ether, negative ions, magnetism, structured freedom, and 5 sense connection. And so for the mentals, and so yeah, it's broken down into, let me just remind myself. So yeah, it's kind of broken down into, as I thought. Yeah, so it's broken down into obviously spiritual. So we've read that one there. It's broken down into the mental. So I'm not going to read out all of these. But it's a nice document. You could just like screenshot it, to be honest. You could screenshot this. I can send it to you if you really ask me to. Like, if you want me to send it to you, I can send. I don't mind sending it to you. It's no problem. No problem. But yeah, that was one of my key themes a couple of years ago, is that I wanted to basically meditate 24/7. So that got embodied. That definitely got embodied. Again, I'm looking at this stuff in hindsight, quite honestly. This is almost like a reflection point for myself. Like I said, I don't really look at this document that much anymore. But I wanted to basically have a 24/7 meditation. Like, everything should be a ritual. I heard a beautiful line. The only difference between a ritual and a habit is intention. And so when we're speaking about a 24/7 meditation, we're basically saying and harping back to what I've been saying, which is we are the AI, attention and intention. That is what separates us from a robot, essentially, is the attention to detail and the intention from the heart space. Once you have those two things happening in synchronicity with each other, you now have coherence. And so the idea of a 24/7 meditation is to make sure that everything that you're doing is allowing your energy to be structured in a way which is coherent. So your walking becomes a meditation. Your thinking becomes a contemplation. Your mindlessness becomes an empty mind. Your joys become an appreciation of gratitude. And so everything can be turned into a meditation. There's nothing that can't be a meditation. As they say, as long as you breathe, you have meditation. So as long as you breathe, you have meditation. So there is no excuse to not live a full life, an embodied life of intention and attention. Which is what I would define meditation as, just to be clear, just to be specific. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's a big idea, quite honestly. It's quite daunting as usual. You're like, the things that I speak about, it's not easy, quite honestly. It is that kind of whole it's why for me reincarnation makes sense, because to master it all in one lifetime seems difficult, almost impossible. It seems almost impossible to master it in one lifetime. That's why you come out and you get the old souls that just seem like they've been here before. And they basically have a head start, essentially. Because if you were like a new soul, take that as a metaphor, if you were a new soul and you had to learn it all and then get to these kind of levels to get to where it's possible, that's that kind of, when I say kind of impossible, that's the kind of level that I would say, it would be very difficult to embody these things. And then we obviously have the practices that allow us to keep our spiritual hygiene high. So pranayama is just breath meditation, basically. We have qigong, we have kinesiology. Hopefully people know kinesiology is basically just getting in touch with your body, like muscle testing, working with your body as a pendulum. That's how I like to say it. You're transforming your body into a pendulum because you understand the subtleties of energy. And then asanas, mudras, and mandalas. And so asanas are poses. And so every movement is just what I mean. So when you're talking about this idea of everything is meditation, or everything is attention and intention, your movements then become asanas. I don't have to pay X amount of pounds 7 till 8 p.m. at night to do my 1 hour yoga, hot yoga, or whatever we're gonna do. Every movement is an opportunity for a meditation, an asana. This is the level that for the people that join this membership, this membership, this kind of, to American people, this kind of Patreon thing that I'm setting up. It's gonna go live probably in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, £4. What am I doing? Charging that £4 a month, and then I'm gonna give you access to some of the tools that I basically just keep in the background. I don't share with no one because it's just a bit too much for people. But now's the time to just start sharing this stuff. Like, I'm not getting any younger, and people are people are continuing their journey, and I know I can help them, or I know I can help certain people who see the world a certain way. So yeah, there'll be a £4 Patreon membership that I'm going to be starting up, where I'll be giving you literally tools that the world hasn't seen, like just tools the world hasn't seen, like the amount of stuff I've not shown you, like guys. Like I've done 35 videos and I still haven't shown you more than 5% of the things that I have in the background, the things that I actually work on, and the things that I do to have fun. Like why my life is so pretty cool. So yeah, I'll be revealing probably for that £4 membership. For the £4 membership, I think I'm releasing about 40% of the tools, 50%, and then for £15 you get 100% of the tools. I'll probably just give you like everything, because it will be a learning curve. Basically, if you join in at the four or £15 level, just think about it that you are basically going to school. It will be the equivalent of a degree, I would say. I'd say a degree, the level of depth and the level of detail in terms of practical, nuanced advice. Like even today, I was speaking to someone. Again, I'm just freestyling. Today's just a pure freestyle. For anyone that's just joining, there's a couple of people on. I've not prepared anything today. Like today is just the pure. We're just gonna go with spirit. So yeah, the more the chat engages, the more energy I'll have to vibe basically with you lot. So yeah, just put any questions that you lot have. I'm only as powerful as the energy I receive, and especially today because I've not prepared anything. But yeah, I'm speaking to someone that's been into spirituality for like maybe about 7 years now. Like they didn't really know much. They kind of knew a little bit, but like let's just say 7 years ago they started their spiritual journey. And frustration was the key word. So the device, obviously. So obviously the device. Get my camera up. So yeah, the device that we're talking about obviously comes from this biocoherence. Sorry. So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen, let me actually do something properly for once. So again, today's freestyle, so it's just whatever. But just send you this to do that. So yeah, what was that? I know your higher self. What was that about? That's the one I just copied. Oh, cool. Yeah, ignore that. Cool. Yeah, so for anyone that's new, for anyone that didn't watch last week or hasn't watched in the last couple of weeks, I did mention it the week before that as well, but I only mentioned it for a few minutes. So I've become the second distributor in the world for a biofeedback device that is the greatest product that I've ever laid my eyes on, and no one believes me when I say it. So I've had to show people, and then everyone I've shown, they know why I'm saying it. But it's what it is. It's fine. Skepticism is healthy. But yeah, like I was saying, it's a small sample size, but we literally are 4 in 4 of that person telling me something about them, like their deepest thing, like how are you? What's the deepest thing that's on your mind right now? And this device, 100% of the time, has called it out, literally word for word. Literally word for word. So yeah, I've been into obviously I've built my own divination app, and I'm pretty cool with my readings. My readings are banging. Anyone that's had a reading from me knows, like, yeah, I go deep, I go in, and the accuracy is fantastic. But it's more so the way I'm able to join dots, in fairness, than the accuracy is what I pride myself on. But the accuracy of this device is scary. It's real scary. So yeah, if you are in the US, I can get you a device. I can get a device over to you. Just let me know. But contact me first if you are in the US though. But yeah, obviously if you're in the UK, you can just buy it online. But yeah, so this person was talking about frustration. feeling that they should have been further along their life journey than they should have been, and that it was causing frustration. Like they've had their vision, they've had their living their dream life, let's say manifestation, whatever, vision board, let's just say. They've had that up for like 3 years. It's the same vision board that they've had for 3 years, and they've not been able to get past the first couple of steps, I would say. I think that's fair to say. And we were just speaking about how the nuance of that, like, at not one point did I say, oh no, well, that's fine, everything is divine timing, and I'm sure you're gonna get it. I don't do that. That's not me. I don't know. Just I don't really say stuff like that. It was like, okay, cool. So then what's the blockage? Where do you think the block is? Where do you feel that there is a misalignment of the soul? Like where is the conflict that's happening that is not allowing you to achieve what you want to achieve, And then that turns into a whole conversation. I'm not really going to get into it. It's just, there's no need to get into it, but to get into the specifics. But again, it speaks to one of the things it spoke, or one of the things I did say, is that this world can be the most cruel place. The universe or nature can be cruel, isn't it? So like, to her mind, she's doing everything she can do. And actually, if I'm thinking about the conversations I've had actually this week in terms of synchronicities, this is a reoccurring theme, I would say actually now, just noticing, which is I'm doing everything I can do and it's still not enough. When is enough going to be enough? That was going to be one of the titles of my videos one day. When is enough going to be enough? I think that I did. I'm not sure if I did a video on that. But yeah, I have a whole concept about when is enough is enough. It's like one of my statements I've not really said to people, but it's one of my personal statements. And when is enough going to be enough? And for me, a lot of this stuff comes down to vibration and energy work. These practices. It's not necessarily about what you're doing. It's about how you're doing it. It's about the energy in which you're moving in. And 5 people could be doing the same thing, but that one person that's doing exactly the same thing as the other person that's doing it in a flow state is going to achieve a different result. That's, especially when it's like a holistic vision board level kind of thing, like an all-encompassing idea and energy. That person that's doing it in a flow state, that's doing it in a state of harmony and coherence, is going to be much more likely to achieve that than someone who is doing it from a place of frustration. Doesn't mean frustration is not, it's completely plausible. Frustration is actually pretty healthy. It's normal and it's healthy. So again, it's not to be disillusioned with these energy states. In this book, they have a mad theme. I've never heard that. I won't say I've never heard of it, but in terms of soul well defined, the reason why this biofeedback device, a biofeedback device is basically, just if anyone doesn't know what they are, just speak about it for literally for what, 20 seconds. Biofeedback devices are devices that read your energy. So you would put your finger or put them on your heart, akin to a there's different types of biofeedback devices, but the one we're talking about in particular is the one that reads your ECG, your heart, reads the electricity of your heart, the vibrations of your heart, and then makes inferences based on your wave form. So again, if you had a fast heartbeat, you might go into cardiac arrest. If you had a slow heartbeat, you might die. So this technology has been around for over 100 years. And what separates this app is the philosophy behind it. That's it's the philosophy behind it that then allowed them to build something that was completely pioneering. and so far ahead of his time. It's going to take years for people to catch up, quite honestly, in terms of what this guy's done. But we're here now, so well, I'm here now anyway, at the very least. And there is this concept of systems design. So when you start, and again, why I'm so in love with this technology is because literally, word for word, some of my core principles in how I feel like I have a certain level of uniqueness or a tonality or a vibration that is, everyone is unique, obviously, but in terms of like me knowing my certain zones of genius and me knowing certain prime meridians, prime energies, they literally, on some of the themes, just word for word, almost literally, they'll have a whole paragraph. I'm literally like, I've got that paragraph exactly word for word. So that kind of stuff is just like mind blowing in terms of the coherence and the obviously resonance. And so they have this idea of this, they've made up this word called prology. And what prology basically means is that we as a system, if you think about everything, a biological being or just everything is a system, that system has a template. Like Rupert Sheldrake, anyone who knows Rupert Sheldrake, he's been around for years, but anyway, and Rupert Sheldrake and the morphic field basically talks about how even though we can't see it, it's almost like there's a phantom limb. So anyone that's had their arm chopped off, they'll say that they can still feel the pain in the space that isn't there. So they call it, I can't remember what they call it, but it's probably like something literally phantom limb syndrome or something like that. But it's phantom limbs basically. And so that's when something was there and then it gets cut off. So they feel it because it's been stored in their pain body, or what some people will then call some kind of field, so what we're basically saying is that there's some kind of field that is generated. And so this idea of emergence, this idea of you flowering, is this, through prology, is this idea of you flowering into the template which was etherically set. And so all of your system is working towards building out this project. Not necessarily purpose. It's quite nuanced, but it's slightly different to destiny, like a predestination thing. It's not a predestination thing, but it's a template that allows for your being to create. I think that's a better way to put it. And in this space, anything that you do within this template, which will be vast, will fall into the realm of coherence, basically. And so one of the mind-blowing things about this idea is that it basically works with like a oneness principle where there is no good or bad. There are just different gates and different tools that need to be turned on at different times depending on what phase of the project you're in. And so when we're talking about the ups and downs of life, this tool perfectly mirrors that as a philosophy. So what will happen often is there's this idea of, oh, let me go and get a health check. And then we go get that health check. An MOT, we go get a health check, especially like when you're 40 years old and stuff like that, like myself, plus 40. And you go get a health check. That was a snapshot of your energy for the day. And what's often missing in those conversations is which one of those energy, how, when we're looking at, let's say, 20, 30, 40, and this thing has 14,000 different things, so 1,400 different things it looks at. Which ones are short term? Which ones were just for that moment, just for that day? Which ones are chronic, acute, long term? And so you could only do that if you got you could only do that if you got a scan daily because then you would be able to find out certain rhythms and cycles and patterns. So anyone that joins this £4 Patreon thing I'm about to start, is we're basically going to work out your circadian biorhythm on a level that hasn't been done before. Like, I don't think this app, before this app, I don't think there is that actual opportunity to go to the level of granularity where we can actually start seeing cycles and patterns, and we can actually start to prove, like divination, for example. How affected are you by certain planets? How affected are you by certain phases of the moon? How affected are you by solar flares? How affected are you by the Schumann resonance? Because I guarantee it's going to be different for everybody. So when we take these like blanket statements of, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, so that means my communication must be off and technology is going to go down. Yeah, as a generic overview, overall law of averages, numbers kind of thing. But you're a unique individual with your own biorhythm, your own cadence, your own template, your own prologue. And so the quest to know thyself has to be a unique one. And that's why, you know, when anyone that signs up to this Patreon thing, you know, and they start embody it, they start working with it on a daily basis. This is the key. You have to embody it. You can't do it once a year like a health check, or every birthday or every New Year's I'm gonna, you know, look at my astrology or look at stuff or whatever, you know, like however you feel like you want to know yourself. There's a million ways to know yourself, but whatever modus operandi you come from, the most powerful ones are going to be the ones that you embody frequently, all the time, daily, minutely, minute by minute, moment by moment, moment by moment. So yeah, imagine being able, basically where we're about to go with it, where we are about to go with it is like, we'll be doing things like pranayama. So we'll do like a morning meditation. So you join this membership thing, and let's just say 20 people join this Patreon or something like that. Who knows the numbers? Let's say it's 5 people, doesn't even matter. As long as it's more than 2, I'll run it. So we join this, we do this thing, and we're like, all right, today we're going to do pranayama, which is basically breath meditation. And we're going to choose 1 or 2 breath meditations, and we're going to do that. And we're going to basically do a scan of ourselves before. We're going to look at the energy for the day, like the divination stuff, like the energy that's out there as well. We're going to look at the Schumann resonance. We're going to basically do a spiritual forecast for the day, and then a divination forecast for the day based on us pulling certain cards, and everyone will pull a different card basically. Like I'm going to teach, you know, everyone's going to do their own divination reading basically. It's the level that we're going to go to. And then we'll do a scan of our energy as well. You know, mind, body, spirit. This thing does it all. And then we go do the pranayama, a 10-minute meditation pranayama, breath work, alternative nostril breathing or something like that. Who knows? And then we go do a scan after. We're basically removing the guesswork out of, we're kind of removing some of the guesswork out of spirituality, because we now have a biofeedback tool that is like medical grade, that allows us to see the different vibrations and how they're being affected within us. And so this is what I mean by like the research group. This is like a real practical example. I keep it because I said, like, if anyone watched me last week, I said that we're going to do our own research. We're going to be doing our own like tests. This is like a real practical way of how we take one of these spiritual practices that are ancient and we actually put it to the test. And then we're going to be feeding back. So, okay, 6 people, there's like 6 people, let's say, did it. Is that 6 different experiences that happened? Did everybody's prana go up? Did everyone's cerebral spinal fluid become more coherent? Did everyone become more resonant to the earth? All of these things can be answered, by the way, through this app. This app is insane what it does. Like, I can't. And then also as well, from a kinesiology perspective, can we actually feel it? So there's a device that, you know, I would encourage people to get that costs £20. I'm not going to reveal it now, but this device costs like £20, $20. And it will allow us to do like kinesiology on a numbers level, like not like remove the guesswork again. My stuff is about removing the guesswork. My stuff is like a little bit more scientifical. Like we can work with the intuition, and that's beautiful. Obviously, I always teach about, you know, tapping into your intuition. Like obviously this is a key. So again, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But we can actually take that edict, that call to action, that call to action of know thyself, to a level where we can actually see ourselves and know ourselves way more than we're doing now. Way more than we're doing now. And make it completely unique. This is the key. It's we have an opportunity right now. This is why I'm so chilled, because I'm just like, literally, the world is at our feet. The world is at our feet, and I'm not even just saying my feet. The world is at our feet because I'm going to be sharing it all. Like £4 a month, like literally. And I don't know, man. Is anyone excited at that opportunity? Like, I know there's only a few people in the chat right now in the live, but is anyone excited about that kind of level of detail? Because one of the things I know is that's quite intense. That will be too much for most people. Most people don't have my lifestyle. My lifestyle allows me to basically indulge in spirituality. That's just what I've been fortunate enough to create. Some people are so busy that they couldn't do 2% of what I do, just in terms of time wise, just in terms of like actual energy, attention, again, intention and attention. My attention and my intention is purely on know thyself. All is self and self is all. And everything gets encompassed and influenced around that. But again, you know, this is where I just appreciate that is a privileged position to be in. You know, it didn't come through luck, by the way. It comes through hard work and sacrifice, just like literally hard work and sacrifice. You know, we want to get to the level where we make it look easy. That's a beautiful place to be. But yeah, how much does you earthing increase the opportunity for your dopamine production? How much does sun gazing improve your crown chakra to make it more resonant? Like, these are the questions that we'll be looking to answer through this Patreon kind of thing. I'm not saying that Patreon, by the way, because that's more of an American thing, but like whatever this membership thing is that we're doing. And I have to charge for it because I only want people that are serious, quite honestly. And I know anything that you give away for free, nobody takes nothing serious for free. It's just built into our DNA. It's just pre-programmed into our humanity. So I'll charge a nominal fee just to root out the ones that are not really about it. That they're not really about it. So that's the practices that we could do. I wonder if I put vibrational therapy. I feel like I put vibrational therapies towards the end. I feel like it didn't start with that, and I just added that in because obviously, and these things allow you to tap into your five senses. All of these things here open up your fifth. Excuse me. Oh yeah, this thing is so mad. Basically, it creates a vortex. This thing creates a vortex. By the way, like vortex water, Victor Schlumberger. I can never get the name right. Whatever, Victor, whatever that guy's name is. Vortex water, basically. The guy who spoke about the science of vortex water, Victor Schlumberger. Schlumberger, that's like a German company, manufacturing. But anyway, pretty cool. We're about to have a lot of fun with this. Gonna have a lot of fun with that one. So yeah, practices, boom. So yeah, 24/7 meditation. Then we've got practices, and then we've got life forming. So again, a lot of this is inspired by Dan Winter, by the way, just very, very specifically, just to make sure I'm name checking and you just to, again, you can do your own research. But a lot of this stuff is inspired by Dan Winter, who speaks about spiritual hygiene and becoming a shareable wave as the only way to live. He speaks about it from an electrical engineering perspective, and I understand it from a metaphysical, spiritual perspective, let's just say. He also does speak on it at that level, but he comes from he's an engineer basically, so he speaks in science word terminology. So this would be becoming a shareable wave. So this is the phi ratio. A shareable wave is a coherent wave that's able to cascade and implode. This is the phi ratio. But again, I don't want to go off track too much. But that's what I'm saying. So when we're talking about from an engineering perspective, we can do that. And I'm saying that this idea of a shareable wave can now be proven, and I'm not mincing my words when I say that, this can now be proven through this app. This app will tell you and show you indication of how soul aligned you are. Because the person who built this app knows Dan Winter and moves with Dan Winter. So again, I feel like I put this guy on a pedestal, but he just has a unique way of explaining things from a particular perspective. So everything is language. So he speaks about it from an electrical engineering perspective and does it the best. But then I might listen to Ken Wheeler, who will speak about the exact same thing, but from a magnetism and dielectric perspective. And then I might listen to Seven Bomar, who speaks about it from a occult perspective. And then I might listen to, I don't know, Eckhart Tolle, who speaks about it from a oneness perspective, or an Alan Watts, who speaks about it from a Buddhist perspective. They're all saying the same thing. They're all saying the same thing. This is what a syncretist does. Someone like myself, they're just, I enjoy the language. For me, it's just poetry. At this point, I'm just listening to poetry, the poetry of truth, because they're all saying the same thing. It's just what is your, what's your poison, basically. What what do you prefer? What language do you prefer to be communicated to? For me, I enjoy all languages. I am multilingual. I enjoy culture and dimensions. And so we have the food. So it's about conscious eating. I ain't really practicing that one. I ain't gonna lie. That's what I'm trying to say. The body stuff. Conscious eating is definitely sometime-ish for me. Like we could do more. We could do more. We could do more. We are doing more. But yeah, conscious eating, slower. Again, including all your 5 senses in the celebration of the food that you're eating, giving honor. Fasting is routine, organ maps, kinesiology, no major labels. I actually don't know what that means. No major labels, what I mean when I said wrote that. I wrote this like 2 years ago, like I said. Physical habits, 2-day plan and focus. One shake. Just like shake, yeah, it's just like food stuff basically. Then obviously we want like the electricity, the structured water. So again, obviously I make my own structured water, which is actually from pure structured, which is pure water, but you can actually just structure your water through coconut water. Although there's a massive scandal at the moment with coconut water. There's like a massive recall with coconut water at the moment. If anyone's seen the pictures, yeah, that's very off-putting. I've not bought coconut water since, boy. I'm definitely put off. But I got my raw coconuts now, which I'm gonna go bang out in a second. I got real coconuts. But yeah, watermelon, structured water, essentially, and then fruit focused. So yeah, if anyone listens to like Yaki Awakened, this was about 2 years ago when I started listening to Yaki Awakened. I was like, yeah, boom, fruit focus. It makes sense. It does make sense. And then supplements and stuff like that. So, but again, like, yeah, I'm not here to teach the food stuff. Like, you could just look at a version of some healthy food. Basically, that's all this is. Really, it's nothing major. And then the cleansing, the altering, i.e., setting up an altar, the altering of the mind, the praying, the affirmations, the spiritual baths, you know, all of these cleansing things, the keep more less. So keep more less is a mental cleansing exercise in terms of like the possessions that you have in your life, whether these are thoughtful possessions or physical possessions. Do I want to keep them? Are they serving me or are they holding me back? You know, these kind of things. More, keep less. And you will do that seasonally. So we've just obviously started spring. Happy New Year to my peeps. And it's more, less, keep, basically. So yeah, you could just write those things down like, and then you will just change it every season, whatever, again, based on your cycles and your rhythms. And then yes, the H3O makes a lot of sense. Yeah. H3O is, I don't want to get into it. Like literally, I love studying water. H3O is just a marketing term, just to be clear. I get why they're saying it, but it's just purely a marketing term. H3O is not actually real, and H3O in its reality is not healthy, and it's definitely what they're not talking about. So when people are talking about H3O as this healthy thing, it's just people either lacking knowledge or falling for a marketing gimmick and thinking that a marketing, or maybe it was just a marketing thing just to make it sound cool. Like I can come up with any name. I can make up a name. Doesn't mean I'm trying to fool people. I'm just like, vibrology, it doesn't even exist. That word doesn't exist. So if somebody was just like, well, no, that's not what vibrology is. Well, I've made the name up. So like, it is what I mean it to mean. Do you know what I mean? Like I made it up. Who are you to tell me what it means? It's my word. That's kind of like how H3O is, because H3O is not what people think it is. It's not it. Basically, water is H2O, and it always will be. Basically. So anyway, boom, 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 boom. Oh, and then now we've got negative ion. So all of these basically, so each one of these ones would have then went to there. So obviously we had the 5 censored and structured freedom. That's a beautiful concept, by the way, structured freedom. Again, I'm riffing, so I needed to basically write something called structured freedom, because for myself, I am purely, I'm very chaotic and I'm a rebel, essentially, at heart. I'm a rebel. I don't like following orders, and I don't like authority. That was like my natural inclination. And so me, again, when you master the body, you master discipline. So I have no discipline really. Like I have little discipline in comparison to the other two gifts when you master the heart and master the mind. Like and so I had to come up, I won't say I had to come up with because I didn't make up the concept, but inspired by concepts of discipline as freedom. And so this idea of structured freedom is very empowering for myself personally, because the word freedom is in there and structure in there. And these are two words that naturally, for me, growing up in my ignorance, wouldn't have went together. Whereas now I've seen the light, and so they do go together. But yeah, so structured freedom essentially anyway. And then we have negative ions, which I could probably be a bit more expansive on that. Like in hindsight, like negative ions are great, but we could do more than negative ions. Negative ions is just one angle of positive energy, but you know, there's more to that than just negative ions, but that's a great start. And so yeah, we were talking about like plants and stuff, so you know, just surrounding yourself with nature. But yeah, that was quite a basic one. Like I didn't really go in. I actually didn't go in, but you get the idea. And then ether, just working with tools that bring in the ether, which you know we could call scalar waves and things like that. Basically, just different technologies. And you know, this is a moment that silence was me looking at my 2 years ago self, who was creating this document in hope and desire. And then me now reflecting and seeing how far I've actually come. None of these things have been embodied daily from a discipline perspective. That definitely went like I said, me mastering discipline, i.e. routine and consistency is my main work that I still have to do. As like literally almost everyone is told. Well, I've been saying it as well. I've been saying it out loud, but then I'm also getting told it as well. Like it's just again, it's, I don't know. It gets to a point where I need to come up with another word for synchronicity, because it's just way more than that. Confirmation, I don't know. That even that, it's just, I don't even know. I'm not sure. Because it's obvious, basically. It's very obvious what I need to do to continue my growth. So, but yeah, what I would say though is that all of these things are at my feet, and I've improved actually as well. So if we're talking from a perfection perspective, then you know I've completely failed. But if we're talking about from a progress perspective, then I've completely succeeded. So yeah, for me, it's progress over perfection, and it's good to see how far I've come in terms of embodying almost all of it from a principled perspective. It's good. It's good. So yeah, that was this spiritual hygiene document. I'll probably change the title of the video as well, just like add the word spiritual hygiene, because obviously we spent quite a bit doing this, and I have been meaning to show this document, because yeah, this is obviously about keeping your integrity, keeping open the opportunity for life to be created through you as a portal or as a vessel. That's what this document would allow you to do. That's why it's so important. And anyone that is hoping to be a practitioner, a document or a philosophy and a way of life and practice like this then becomes, you know, crucial. It's like, you know, almost mandatory if you are any type of alternative healer or practitioner. or just work in this space, whatever, you know, minus any titles, then spiritual hygiene should be like a top 5. It should just be part of your routine. No ifs or buts, really. I mean, it should be obvious, but I mean, it should. What I'm saying is, it should be thoroughly thought through from a holistic perspective. Is what I'm saying, and that's what a document like this does, basically. So, what's the time now? Hour and a half. I feel like today's going to be my shortest ever video. The marathon continues. Yeah. The unfolding of the infinity, man. Of course. What was you expecting? The unfolding of infinity. The unfolding of infinity. The marathon continues. Yes. The infinite game. To be enjoyed. It's just to be enjoyed, man. Just to be enjoyed. Just to be enjoyed. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna stay on for too much longer. Has anyone got any questions? Is there anything that they want me to discuss? Is there anything that they even want to share? Again, like I said, I'm only as powerful as the energy I receive. So today was a freestyle open mic kind of thing I got going on today. So yeah, has anyone got any questions? Because I'm about to bounce pretty soon. Do what you love till it kills you. I'll probably change that title just because of the way the videos went. But the concept behind that, though, I'll kind of finish off there then. But the concept behind that is just the idea of going all in. Probably been my theme for the past 2 weeks, I would say. One of the key themes for myself of the past 2 weeks is this whole idea of being uncompromising. It's like an attitude. I'm basically cultivating an attitude of being uncompromising, which for me is not natural. But to a degree, it needs more balance in order to move forward, regardless of the hurdles that are inevitable. That are inevitable when you move with a certain energy. And the reminders of being so stark is like forceful. That's what I mean in terms of like coming up with a new word for synchronicity and stuff, because some of the stuff is not subtle, it's like forceful. You know, it forces you to sit down and take notice. Pay attention. And you know at that point you're being, to a degree, tested. To a degree. And so those moments then become defining, like life altering. All right, cool, wonderful. I have a question. So I was watching Black Magic 363. They were talking about Jupiter. I've not watched Black Magic for a while, actually. I've been so much on my own stuff, but I haven't really watched anything else other than wanting to watch. But yeah. All right, cool. I was watching Black Magic 363. They were talking about Jupiter lines, abundant lines that correspond to people. Would you know anything about this? Like a certain space can maximize your abundance. So I've not watched that video and I don't know what your, I don't know who said that, for example, because a lot of it is about who says stuff as well. But I know about ley lines, and I know that every planet will have its own geometric waveform and pattern. just to be very specific. Lattice. So, you know, it's often said that the Earth is a dodecahedron. If you're into ley lines, dragon lines. So I understand that there are lines and everything is geometry, and at those nodal points is where the energy is centered. That creates a coherent wave for you to tap into that energy, which can be abundant and is most likely to be abundant, like, because you're basically going into that 0 point energy at these cross points. So if you're doing spiritual work, if you're doing any spiritual work and you find a ley line, a cross point ley line, your work that you do in that particular space will be amplified times, I don't know, let's just say 10x, for example, to the point where these ley lines and these cross points and even abundance can be too much. You even need to balance out abundance. That's why Saturn is there. Jupiter is there right next to Saturn, because you have to balance out your abundance. It has to be, too much of anything is a bad thing. And so one of the things that you definitely wouldn't want to do is build your house on a cross point of abundance. You know, because all that space does is grow, but it doesn't then give in the balance and order of it doesn't respect the law of generate, operate, and destroy. Essentially is what I'm trying to say. So you want to be living in spaces that allow you to God, like the verb, to God, to be God, to godding, to do godding, to be good, do-gooder, to be a do-gooder, to be a do-gooder. So anyway, that's a personal joke there. So anyway, yeah, Jupiter obviously is about abundance. So I can imagine it. Again, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're speaking about an astrological alignment. So if you're speaking about a specific astrological alignment, as I was saying today, I haven't opened up my divination stuff for like a month. I've not looked at any since I did that video 4 weeks ago where I called out all my days and I said, look, these are the days of significance. I basically called out 3 or 4 days that were going to be real major for this month and for the year. Sorry, for this particular month. And they all played out perfectly. I've still got to think of about 2 months. I forgot there's 2 more days as well. I think there's the 27th I called out. 27th or 28th as a mad day. And obviously today's spring, which I didn't even call out in the video, but I kind of mentioned it. Yeah, everyone will mention that. So yeah. I'm not sure if that answered your question, because obviously they could have just been talking about a particular alignment with Jupiter. And yeah, that I've not looked into my divination stuff for a while. Although I did try today, but then yeah, got distracted. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you want to come back with a question, I'll give it like a minute. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of wrap up. Next week I will definitely be more what's the date next week? 27th. All right, so yeah, next week, because I said always at the last week of the month, I'm always doing the divination reading for the next month. So next week's going to be incredible, because like I said, I've been so focused on this wellness, getting everything together with the wellness stuff, that the divination stuff I've had to, I'm not focusing on it basically. But next week, I should be ready to integrate the idea of wellness with divination. We'll hold that space on this one. Like, this is the whole vision. The bigger picture is to integrate everything. But sometimes you just have to focus on one thing. And so obviously this week or for last month, I've just been focusing on one thing. But I imagine at some point next week, I will get into the integration aspect. I'm like moving towards that now. I can feel it. But I feel like next week, Thursday, is going to be a powerful, powerful, powerful reading for the month of April. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, when he's talking about the 44. Okay, yes, I've not watched that video. I watch many. Yeah, I very rarely miss A Rashid. Like I love that guy's brain. I love how that guy speaks. Yeah, I enjoy his creativity of thought. Like that guy's a genius. So legend. A Rashid is a legend, as he says, as he calls it. So yeah, but I've not watched that. I've not watched that video. I did see that. I did see that pop up on my feed, but I've not had a chance to watch it. Probably watch on the weekend or something like that. I'll get out my own stuff. But yeah, so I've not seen that. And obviously Ra'aku again, legend. Like Ra'aku, absolute legend. Because you mentioned it, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna go with that, and I'm gonna go with that synchronicity. Like because you said that, I'm gonna watch it. And I guarantee I already know this, that I guarantee in that video 1 to 2 things will be dropped that I will incorporate into my into everything that I'm doing right now. I guarantee that they will say something. I I guarantee it. Like it will be obvious that I'll be able to embody something around that, because this is the kind of stuff that I do. I map out stuff. So if I have a feeling, I have a feeling I know where they're gonna go with it, and I have a feeling where I could take it. So yeah, watch this space. Watch out for next week. You never know; it might be introduced by in next week. We'll see. I'm not promising anything because I literally haven't watched the video, but yeah, it's just a creative space that I'm on. So yeah. Anyway, I'm about to bounce because yeah, I'm just I want to get a cup of tea and chill out. That's all I do. I want to get a cup of tea, chill out, switch my brain off for like half an hour because I finished my earliest ever on a video. So use that as an opportunity to have a nice cup of tea, and then yeah, we're gonna get back into the work. And right now, I'm building a directory. So basically, the app that they've built is really good, but it's got so many layers. I just need it to speak in my language, and they're gonna take too long to explain it their way. And so I'm just basically creating my own book, glossary, dictionary around this app. That's basically what I've been doing today. I've been doing it all day today. Take me about 2 to 3 days to finish probably, but it needs to be done. It just needs to be done. I just need it, and then that will then be the segue point to then integrate it into all of my divination stuff and all that, all of my life coaching stuff and all the things that I've built personally. Basically, this will be that first thing that allows me to create a bridge of synchronicity, a bridge of a bridge of correspondence. This is how my brain works. Basically, this is how you do it. You have to build bridges that then allow you to connect the dots. So it's just, but it takes time. Like it's not everything can just be done through intuition. Like it's me, ChatGTP, AI, spirit. It's like it's all getting involved right now. So yeah, I need to get back to my work, onto the grind. But yeah, peace and love to everyone. I enjoyed this actually. I did enjoy this. I weren't sure how it was gonna be. Like I said, I'm only as powerful as the energy I receive, and I feel as long as I have more than 2 people on the call, man, I'm ready to go down. I'm ready to go all in. Basically, I always say that three's the magic number. So as long as 2 people's on the call plus myself, then I'll go all in for it. So yeah, yeah, peace and love, blessings, and up until next week, yeah, man, stay tuned. Stay tuned to yourself. Like stay tuned, like double entendre there. Stay tuned, man. Peace.